added this little synth over it and another synth, and they're both panned either side just to create a bit of space.
So that droning sound is the vocal?
Yeah.
Just looped?
A lot of having a sound is just falling into the things that you are familiar with and the things that you like to do and the things that you know work.
This episode is being supported by Tape It, the iPhone recording app made for musicians by musicians.
Yeah, man, this tune, it's funny, I actually started it years ago. It was the only thing that I really started before the album, and I had just come back from touring, my first ever tour in the US, been away for a few weeks, and was just, I had like this vocal sample, this Caliucci's vocal that I remember hearing the original and was just like, I want to sample that, but I didn't have the time when I was on tour, and I came back and I sampled that vocal and the whole thing was just kind of built from there. But I can't remember where I heard it. I think I heard it while I was on tour somewhere. And I just, like, as soon as I heard it, I was like, I want to sample that.
Do you have the sample, the original part?
I think
anywhere?
I think I've got it on
just so we can compare and contrast and see what you've done.
It's just...
I'm riding around in my guys look. I'm riding around in my guys look.
There's just like little moments of wee delays and stuff, and just very minor processing on it, I think, just like messing around with some effects and stuff. And
so you haven't really pitched it up massively, or
it's pitched slightly. I mean, just here and there, there's like I just didn't want to mess too much with the essence of it. Like, it's such a great sort of source sound that it was like, that's the kind of crux of the tune, and then the rest is just about building stuff around it. But I mean, tiny little things like little delays, or on the delay just messing with the feedback, like, so it sounds like in here it's like, or I can't remember it. And maybe it's not on that bit, the thing I was talking about. But yeah, not really. It's kind of just as it was. It was more what I sort of built around it, really, that was more interesting.
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, are you able to show us how this built up then? And...
Yeah, I mean, I guess even just in this little section, there's... If I'm just like... Just little things like I don't know what this is. Just little bits of text. I don't even know what that is. Just some like little foley sound that just happens in and amongst it, just to keep things interesting.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of this on your records. I think
just
there's a lot of little sounds that I'm thinking now. Is that a bell, or is that a teacup, or is that a?
I've got a sword here. Like, I've got an actual sword thing. Like, it's that. Yeah, there's always weird things, but it's like, sorry.
And are these things that are surrounding you? Do you have a sword at home that you...
I just dip into the sword collection in the basement. Nah, I don't even know, man, to be honest. I think it's just like whenever I find like interesting sounds, I'm like, oh, that'd be cool to squeeze in. Like, that's all that this, like, there's an actual just that, and like just panned, and just little things like that help it feel kind of magic, or just adding little effects. I think, like, even on, I can't even remember. Whatever this is, like, I'm not even sure, but just before, like messing with dynamics and chops and stuff, just because I think I knew that this section at the start was like, I knew that once you got to the core of the main bit of the tune, it's like, when everything's in and it's got its energy, that's fine. They're going to be attentive then, right? It's like, this is the bit that you've been waiting for. So how do you keep people engaged before that in the build up, when you kind of need to have that space? You know, it's like the tension and release. You need that space before to create that energy when it drops. So how do you keep attention in that bit when there's a bit less going on? It's just through little things like this that just keep you, oh, what's that? Is that a fucking sword? Sorry, I don't know if I can swear.
You could swear. This episode is being supported by our good friends at Tape It, the iPhone app made specifically for musicians. If you, like many of our guests, use voice memos, then as far as we're concerned, switching to Tape It is an obvious choice. It's free, and there are a load of features you won't find on Apple's Voice Memos app, including the ability to record straight from your lock screen, set markers, add notes, include photos of settings, and you can easily import your old voice notes, sync to the cloud, and create shared playlists with co-writers and bandmates. So head to the link below to install the app now. And if you want even more, check out Tape It Pro and use the promo code TAPENOTES to receive a whopping 20% off. And now, back to the episode. I'm interested in the bass. Where does the bass sound come from?
The bass is a combination of, it's two different bass sounds. So I've got one which is just like the sustained. I think it's like a Reese bass or something. I'm not even sure. It's just a plugin on, preset on this Mini 5. It's just called a bass you'll use, and I'm messing around with the cutoff at points just to kind of, automating the cutoff. I've rolled off the high end on it, and it's sidechained. And then on top of that, there's this, which is like keeping the groove. I've just, again, rolled off the low end, so it's the two at the same time, but both sidechained.
Yeah.
And just EQ'd a little bit. And this is just a serum patch. I'm not even sure what it is. Bounce bass. I think maybe I just was mucking around.
Do you alter presets much? I mean, or do you just work with what's there?
I'll mess around with them, as in I'll definitely automate them. But I'm really not one who kind of gets in and builds a sound from scratch. Again, it's like workflow for me. I'm very happy to just use presets and go, this is cool. If it sounds good, it sounds good. And then I'll kind of mess around with it from there and maybe affect the dynamics and things like that, or take it where I want it to go. But I use a lot of presets all the time. There's sometimes a bit of a taboo around that, but I don't know why. I think there's no shame in that. I think if it sounds good, it sounds good. That's the only thing that really should matter.
Yeah. In some ways, I think it's like taking an instrument and thinking, oh no, but before I use this instrument, I've got to carve a bit out of it to make it my own.
Totally. Yeah, exactly.
and then it'll be cool. It'll be mine.
But it's like if the finished thing sounds good, that's all that matters. No one's going away from or coming away from listening to a song and going, I used to like this, but he didn't make that sound. And if they do, fuck them, man. Those aren't the people you want to be serving anyway. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't matter to me. I'm actually more impressed when I hear of things when people have done stuff and kept it really simple. That's one of the real challenges as well. Is making something sound simple. So hard. Or it takes practice. Or it takes not thinking too much. I think that's the thing. It takes not thinking about it. It's a big, big part of it.
Yeah. So there's this little nice lush piano section, and then it kind of speeds up a bit more.
Yeah. I think there's a little piano riff that's there, and I time stretched this vocal here just for texture. There's a few different things going on here, so I've just looped the vocal. It's just added this little synth over it and another synth, and they're both panned either side just to create a bit of space. That's the bulk of
so that droning sound is the vocal, just looped
on top of the this little synth that's doing this, but it just adds a bit of texture to it. But that's just the vocal just looped. It's like a texture as much as anything, but when you add them all together,
it's amazing because there's almost like a recurring siren motif across the album, and that to me has a nod to it.
Totally. I used that siren sort of thing. I did quite a lot. I mean, I think there's also another. I love that sound. It's just a great way of creating tension. I've used it quite a lot through the album. Probably, in fact, to the point where my manager was like, "You need to stop fucking using that sound." And I was like, "Okay, sorry, man." But it's that's one thing as well. It's easy to kind of. I think people sometimes talk about having a sound or something. A lot of having a sound is just falling into the things that you are familiar with and the things that you like to do and the things that you know work. It's not like something that you've thought out beforehand and you've gone, I'm going to do this. It's this sounded great when I did this on this tune. Maybe I can add an element of that to, and also that's quite a nice thing to do as well when you're working on an album. You want to create an element of, I would like to sort of create a feeling of cohesion a little bit at least on an album.
Yeah.
So that's something you can do. I think there's one more synth that I didn't play, which is this little thing. Yeah. I don't even really know. This is just, and then a little bend on it. That's the thing that's panned to the side. But it's just building up layers and creating textures and stuff, I think.